Merry belated Christmas, elegant listeners, and welcome to Boxing Day. So happy Boxing Day, too. This is Go, My Favorite Sports Team, with your host, Tyler Scheid, and co-host, the Markiplier.
Hi.
If you didn't know what you were tuning in for, this is your Christmas gift episode of this year. Going to be a fun time.
Define fun.
Fun is a feeling of joy. Oh, crap.
F is for friendship. U is for you and me. N is for anything, anywhere, and deep in the deep blue sea. Duh.
Gosh, sorry. You know, I haven't been, learning up on my terms lately.
That was when we were in high school.
I don't remember anything right now. My brain's been chiseled into and all kinds of stuff.
Have your brain been chiseled into?
No, but my nose was.
Basically the same thing.
Same thing.
Those of you who don't know, the brain, nose, same.
Egyptians, that's how they'd pull the brain out for the mummification. So
that is true. That is true. But it's not so simple. You can't just sneeze your brain out. They have to pass through the skull bone.
Yeah.
Get to it.
But I'm healing from my deviated septum repair. They apparently had a bone spur that they chiseled out, which was interesting. But how are you, Mark? How have you been?
I'm good. Busy as always on various things, but barely keeping up with all of my responsibilities, and it's great.
Sounds like the norm.
But it won't be the norm for long.
Which is exciting.
I'm running away.
Oh, that's less exciting.
Plan to leave forever.
And you're not telling anyone where you're going.
Nope. Or when.
Oh.
It's going to be a big surprise.
It's exciting. For you.
Well, for everyone else, depending on your definition of excitement.
That's true. I mean, if your excitement is a stressful version, I think that fit the other people.
Say that sentence again, but more coherently.
If stress is your I can't. More. If stress is your idea of excitement, that's exactly right.
Yes, there you go. You did it.
I did it. The nose really is connected to the brain. That sinus pressure gets to you.
It is indeed. Yeah.
This is our first time recording in a while. We got ahead because of holiday stuff. So this is our first time recording here in December. A lot of people have been yelling at us, but like, you haven't talked about news. You haven't addressed accuses. And I'm like, hey guys, we had to record ahead because we had a lot of stuff going on. That's why. And I feel like I should tell you that. I don't freaking know.
I don't see many accuses, actually. There's very few.
I know we've been very clean on our podcast lately. We've been absolutely perfect.
Yeah. There was a clip from the Tyson v. Paul fight.
Oh, yeah.
This is just the most clear pulling of a punch, Jake blocking the completely wrong side. It's one of those situations where if he leaned into where Tyson was going to punch, his head would have come clean off if Tyson actually meant anything in that fight, which he did.
Yeah. So interesting. I don't know if you've looked at the comments on Spotify. There was somebody on Spotify that was like, oh, it's just because he's old. He didn't have his legs under him. If you knew how to fight and all this stuff. And I'm like, Mark watches boxing a lot. I do boxing training. I think we understand what is what in that video also.
Yeah, and here's the thing that I think I said before, but if I didn't, I will say it here. If there's anyone that knows how to sell faking it, it would be a professional boxer because he would know what to do to get away with. He knows how to look tired.
Yeah.
If he's trying to sell losing the fight, which you would do if you're trying to lose. I don't think he was necessarily trying to lose. I think he was just trying not to kill him. That was it.
I think he was just trying to go to the full eight rounds to get the maximum payout.
To get the money, and that's obviously what it was all about.
Yeah.
Because that's what this whole thing was about. It was just about money.
We have news now. So while the Jacuzzas may not be existing at the current point in time, we do have some fantastic Caitlin Clark news.
I'm over it.
What?
I'm over it.
You're over it?
I'm over it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm over it.
Oh.
The world is over it.
Oh.
I think there's nothing that you could say that would swing us all back in camp Caitlin Clark.
Well, Caitlin Clark is the 2024 Athlete of the Year.
I always knew she could do it. I believed in her all the way.
Time magazine announced it officially this year. With how much attention she has brought to women's sports, to the WNBA, her ability to perform at an elite level and break records that people haven't seen broken in a short amount of time. Absolutely incredible. Earned her Athlete of the Year according to Time magazine. But it is not without controversy.
Oh.
Mystics owner Sheila Johnson called out Time magazine for naming Caitlin Clark Athlete of the Year, wondering why the rest of the league wasn't given recognition. upset that they picked just Caitlin Clark for Athlete of the Year.
Well, I don't know if they know how this works. They kind of just pick one, you know? There ain't no runners up in this, I don't think.
So Johnson apparently expressed these concerns because she believes the award's singular focus on the Indiana Fever megastar would unintentionally bring division among players in the WNBA. Clark's peers.
Again, I don't know if they need us to spell this out, but when you get an Athlete of the Year, it's not Athletes of the Years, it's Athlete of the Year.
This is the point that I've brought into contention multiple times with relation to the WNBA and how they have handled the whole thing with Caitlin Clark, and how Caitlin Clark has brought attention and seemingly done all of the right things possible, like trying to get players compensated for the additional attendance when they attend games where Caitlin Clark performs in, giving them the bonuses for that, which they couldn't do, but they're figuring out ways. And Clark is all about trying to spread her notoriety to making it so that the other athletes in the WNBA who have been performing and been fantastic, phenomenal athletes for years receive the same kind of attention as possible that she can. And it just really showcases an issue that still is stemming in the WNBA. Instead of showcasing and highlighting, like, yes, Caitlin Clark is amazing, she's a part of this organization, they're almost putting her on a side and being like, but why aren't we getting it?
Because she's the best. Because she's just the best. That's it. There's nothing else to it. That's the answer. And you can't, what about? It's like, well, be better.
So it's just one of those situations where it's like, understand her getting this recognition is a good thing for the WNBA and utilizing it as a good thing instead of creating these conversations that are actually going to be self-fulfilling prophecies and creating rifts amongst the athletes and the organization as a whole and in the public's eye when you're criticizing this person reaching a phenomenal achievement and getting this award. That's the big Caitlin Clark news that exists. One of her teammates actually said that she could have a future in modeling as well. We might see Caitlin Clark being a model in the future too.
Who's to stop her? Golf, model,
hockey.
Well, if only I knew what that was.
No, don't. Not again. Not again.
Hockey.
In other news, recent things have been happening. Apparently, there is a mass criminal organization that is organizing and burglarizing professional athletes because of how public their schedules are with relation to major sporting events. The most recent victim is Cincinnati's own Joe Burrow. His home got broken into during their Monday Night Football game against the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, he was away in Texas for the game. The person who maybe he was dating somebody else is the person who came to the house and saw it ransacked and called the police. Not only was it an invasion of privacy of the burglarization, but the person who called was revealed publicly, and suddenly more privacy was...
Are you trying to avoid actually talking about this? Because you kind of have to say the situation to really get into the
Go
deep
for
of it. So it was a lady.
Yes.
Who was not his girlfriend?
Well, he had broken up with his girlfriend before.
Ah, I see. So she just happened to be staying there. I don't know the circumstances of their relationship, so I'm not making any conjecture.
But the thing is, Joe likes to try and keep his personal life personal. You know, a lot of this information is out there, and all of a sudden, because of this situation, people started questioning things.
Right. Well, it's already broken into. I might as well just, excuse me. All right. Whoa! Who are you? That's pretty much what it feels like when people do stuff like this, but...
Yeah, so apparently all the pro leagues have been, since November 22nd, when Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce were broken into on the same day, all of the sports leagues had been notifying athletes and warning them of these conditions, heightened security, all those things were happening, but still it is ongoing. The FBI is investigating and trying to figure out what this organization is, if it's all connected, how they're going to solve this, and how they're going to be able to protect these people. And at that point, it starts begging the question of, not only are athletes' schedules very public, but you've got musicians, you've got film people, you've got creators, actors, like a lot of that information is out public, and it starts begging the question at one point, should information like this be kept more private instead of constantly in the public's eye, because it's creating a target for criminal bodies to be able to exploit?
That's a good point. I mean, it does make sense in terms of people do leave their homes. But at the same time, also, I would expect they would have better security systems.
But even then, like, if you have enough time to case it, because apparently, based on the investigation that we've seen, they've seen that people have been faking to be joggers in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
landscapers, pool workers, stuff like that, to gain more knowledge about the house, faking to be different people to help with utilities or something like that. So there's a lot of ways that criminals can figure out a way to case a joint and figure out where the weak spots are regardless,
Mhm.
and figure out how to get past security systems. And with the current stage of technology in general, there's a lot of people that have capabilities that can override systems and figure out how to get past
There was a
them.
show that was all about a burglar trying to break into places just to show people how unsecured their places actually were.
Uh-huh.
And most of the time, I don't know if this is every episode, but most of the time, what the guy did, if he was anywhere that had like any kind of younger, like college age population, because usually it's just random houses everywhere, all he would do is bring a woman with him. Basically, he'd just be, anytime they would catch him in the middle of something, he'd just like bust out. He was like wearing a high vis vest. And you know, if you wear a high vis vest and carry a ladder, you can get in anywhere. That's all
Yeah.
he'd do. He'd just like pull out his lockpick and be in the corner, just like, I'm working on this pipe here. And then the lady would just be like, hi, hey. And then it was so funny because it was one time it was a frat house and all the frat guys were like, we're not gonna get robbed ever. And just one girl was there and all of them like flocked to her. It was like, hey, hey. Meanwhile, he's just stealing all their shit, shutting off his security system.
But it's a major problem that's being investigated. Just like the FBI's investigating those drones in New Jersey.
That entire thing just is so funny to me because every single video I've seen, I just am like, looks like a plane coming in.
And then and then you track it and you can see it on the flight tracker. It is a plane. I've noticed that too.
I think there was one video that was like, I found on my Ring camera a massive glowing orb in the sky. It was the moon through the Ring camera.
There was a electromagnetic phenomenon orb that apparently was posted that happened in that area recently, supposedly. But there was also, I saw videos of people shooting at them with guns. And I'm like, you're so dumb. You're so dumb. You're going to hurt somebody.
People are extremely dumb, absolutely dumb. And there's no stopping them ever.
Impossible.
It's impossible. The only thing you can do is try to counteract the dumb before they get too dumb. And that's with education.
Funding for education.
Education. That's for, what's about it?
Healthcare.
Well, iodine. If you're not getting enough iodine, you need it. That's why iodized salt is actually good. I'll fight people on this. They're like, iodine is such a simple thing. Your thyroid needs it. It like needs 3 things. One of it's iodine to work properly.
Eat your vegetables.
Yeah. And use iodized salt. Sea salt may taste better. Get the iodized version of it. You know, so many this is like a hill I want to fight a lot of people on because everywhere you see, like, I get the pink Himalayan salt. It doesn't have any chemicals added into it. It has a shit ton of chemicals. You know what chemical it don't have? Iodine. You need it. They did a study in the early 1900s that just showed simply by supplementing iodine into diets of children raised IQs, and IQ is not a good measurement, but it raised IQs generationally by like 8 to 10 points.
Wow.
Just by supplementing iodine. And holy shit, that's why they put it in salt, because they were like, everybody uses salt. Let's just put it in the salt.
Iodized salt.
And it's like, you're not going to overdose on iodine because by the time you overdose on the salt that you're taking in, you'll die from the salt long before you die from the iodine.
You'd run out of water. You just...
Exactly, right? You're never, it's kind of like that situation. It's a perfect thing. And then all these fucking fancy salts. And there's like a TikTok video that a lot of people already made fun of, but someone like, this salt is not salt. And it's like points to a bag of some Celtic salt. And it's like, this is good ass salt. This is going to dehydrate you. It's like, they're just salt, man. So one has a few more micro minerals in it. One doesn't have iodine. It's just like, you need a lot of minerals. You also need iodine, and it's hard to supplement. It is hard to get enough iodine in your diet. That's why it's in salt.
In iodized salt.
Iodized salt. If you look at your salt thing and it says, this does not supply iodine, a necessary nutrient, it's because it doesn't have it in it.
In other news, an Ohio politician proposes a bill to make flag planting a felony. So after the Ohio State-Michigan game, which was one of the biggest rivalries in college
I
football.
had died. I was halfway through that. I was like, oh my God, am I saying the wrong thing? Iodide, not iodine. Don't drink iodine. It has a different purpose. Iodide. Iodide.
Which also sounds worse. Iodide.
No, don't scare it up. People can't be afraid of it. Anyway, what were you saying?
An Ohio politician is trying to ban flag planting a felony, proposes making flag planting a felony after a fight broke out after the Ohio State-Michigan football game where Michigan tried to plant the flag midfield. Interesting thing with relation to this.
Okay.
I personally think the flag planting thing is stupid. I think it's, hey, you won the game. There's no reason to be a sore winner and go out and be like, we own your field. And also, there have been instances where it damages the actual turf and the field and a lot of other things, which makes work for other people. I also have an issue with rushing the field and tearing down goalposts, but that's fans trying to deal with a mass group versus a team is a different thing. But this whole thing was because a fight broke out and now they're trying to make it a felony if you try and do it. And to a degree, some people are like, this is stupid. Let players be players. But I also think sportsmanship is getting lost more and more over the years, and being a good winner or a good loser where you actually have respect and are like treat people like humans seems to be falling by the wayside. And so to me, I think it's important that we showcase what sportsmanship is.
Fuck you.
The shame you instantly felt from my look. That's the visual reaction.
Fuck you.
You were like, oh, no, I feel bad. It's just one of those things that I think it's becoming a lost thing to be considerate of other people as opposed to just being like, I did this, blah, fuck you.
That's fair. I remember recently I saw a compilation someone posted on Reddit of it was like football highlights, but the caption was something along the lines of back when football was actually a contact sport.
Oh yeah.
And it was ghoulish to say the least. The hits that some people were like, yeah, but other people were like, oh, holy fuck. People were just like barely, it's all those hits where it's like a receiver's going up,
they get folded,
just annihilated, blasted, brain damage. And so what people were saying in the comments were like, oh God, okay, what they're doing actually is good. So that video actually convinced more people that, hey, these rules might be good, because a lot of the players in that compilation, people were saying they're not the same anymore. After that hit specifically, they were never the same in the game. Many of them left, a lot of them brain damage, many concussions. That's why they implemented some of those deep rules. It's not good.
Yep. And to get through a couple other things, Travis Hunter, two-way football player, won the Heisman Trophy. A lot of controversy here with relation to a lot of the awards he won. He set the record for most awards won by a single player.
Yeah.
However, he won best wide receiver and did not lead in any categories, whereas there's one receiver from San Jose who led in every single statistical category, and he didn't win the best receiver award. He technically in both positions that Travis Hunter plays for, he didn't lead in either of them, but he has won the most awards. And for people that are complaining it's a popularity contest, it kind of is. Most awards kind of are that thing. Ashton Genty, who we talked about previously, the running back, ended up being runner-up for the Heisman, despite likely beating Barry Sanders' multi-decade-old rushing record. A lot of people still feel that as far as value to his team, as far as what teams had to do to defeat Boise State, they were putting 9 players in the box of 11 to try and stop the run, and he would still win and score touchdowns. His yards after contact are more total yards than Wisconsin's running back that was runner-up for the Heisman years ago. Like, his yards after contact are absurd. So it's not just that he's running and people are blocking. He's making contact, breaking a tackle, and then taking off.
Okay. But he didn't win?
He didn't win. Travis Hunter did. He played both sides of the ball, though, on defense and offense. He's a fantastic player. They were going to be 1 or 2. I personally feel like Genty should have won, but Travis Hunter is a more household name. Genty won the fan vote significantly, though, for the Heisman, but the pundits who ended up voting for the Heisman picked Travis Hunter over Genty.
Interesting.
So
who picked these pundits anyway? Because if one actually was more of a household name, then why'd the fan vote swing one way?
People wanted a running back to win. I don't think a running back's ever going to win the Heisman again if Genty didn't win it this year. Cornelia Hutter of Austria wins the first ever Women's World Cup downhill held on birds of prey course.
Who?
Cornelia Hutter, Huetter. Hutter, maybe it's Cornelia Hutter. She reached speeds of nearly 79 miles per hour and finished in 1 minute 32.38 seconds, winning by 0.16 seconds. This was in Beaver Creek, Colorado. It's a brand new course, the Birds of Prey course, so it was just exciting.
Was I not excited?
No. I just don't have a lot of info. I was just saying that generally.
Fair.
And then the big one, Devondre Campbell, linebacker for the 49ers, walks out on his team mid-game. So what happened is he's a linebacker. The linebacker who was injured and he was starting over for a good part of the season because he tore his Achilles during the Super Bowl last year, came back from injury and was playing in the game, got injured during the game, and then he refused to go back in to play when the guy who he would have been replacing got injured. And he ends up walking to the locker room and refused to play. He just refused to play. And so he essentially, there was a lot of talk after the game, and he just completely walked out on his team and is likely to be released. It hasn't happened yet, but every single person on his team that spoke to the media afterwards was not happy with him.
I don't know who any of these people are.
But think about it this way. You have a teammate. You're playing a game. It's an intense game.
Okay,
You're still,
all right,
you still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Okay, good.
You're still in this.
Yeah.
You could win.
Uh-huh.
One of your teammates gets hurt.
Okay.
Your other teammate, who usually plays that same position, that is the only player you really have left to play that position, goes, no, I don't want to play today. Forcing your teammate either to play injured or for them to try and play different personnel, causing you to have a disadvantage and thus end up losing the game. How do you feel about that teammate that just quit on you?
What was the reason for quitting?
Literally, the only reason game is he did not want to play. And from what I have read, it's just because he was upset that the other player that came back from injury took over the starting job over him after he had started some of the year.
So he was upset that the other person took his spot, but now that he's injured and not has the spot anymore, he is not going into that spot that he was upset of losing about, right?
Yes. Very illogical.
Okay, well, he just seems like a prick, so I don't know.
Yeah. But from a professional, that's their job.
Yeah.
If that person's not doing their job,
fire him.
There you go.
All right, we got there. See, you still got to explain these things to me. I don't know who this. I don't know who Gertrude was.
Travis Hunter.
Again, you said
Genty. Austin Genty.
Yes.
We had talked about him in the past, though. He was the Michael Myers running back with the insane.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. But now it's time for the actual episode, the fun part, the Christmas special.
Oh.
The exciting thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is your holiday special. Go My Favorite Sports Team.
Yay.
So, Mark.
Yeah.
It's Christmas time. The holiday cheer is in the air. What are some of your favorite holiday characters from movies?
The Grinch.
Yeah, you love the Grinch?
Yeah, I love the Grinch. What are you saying?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you love the Grinch?
Anybody else? Anybody
No.
else? Okay. Would you call the Grinch a hero or a villain?
He's a hero.
Is he?
Yes. Let me quote you something that'll solidify.
This is
him as a
not
hero.
pudding.
No, not that one.
Okay.
That's a great quote, but that's not it. What is better, to be born good or to overcome your evil nature through great effort?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
See? Parthenax.
Well, anyway, do you think the Grinch would be a fantastic athlete? Would you want them on your basketball team?
Oh my God. Do you know the feats of strength?
They're absurd, yeah.
He lifted that whole sleigh over his head with an entire town's worth of toys in there. I'm sure someone's done the math of how much that thing weighed. And it's probably skewed a little bit because they're the size of a speck. So, but proportional to body weight, incredible. People forget that. They're on a snowflake. They're
So depends on which reference you go to, because the Horton Hears a Who is when they are made to be small. But if you go back to the original animation, they live on a very tall mountain. And so they're not a speck at the initial onset.
I do not recognize the animated how the Grinch Stole Christmas. I don't believe that is.
What about the book?
Dr. Seuss is a hack. I think that he plagiarized all of his work from someone. I don't know who.
Jim Carrey.
Exactly.
So we've got the overview. We got some favorite Christmas characters.
Whose favorite?
Some general favorite. The world's favorite.
Stupid people's favorites.
Well, the Grinch is on here, just to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
So, all your favorite characters from holiday movies. Could be Frosty, Santa, Grinch, Krampus. when you're watching these Christmas classics, have you ever thought about if Buddy the Elf and the Grinch were in a boxing match?
Why are you shouting at me?
Am I shouting?
You were getting louder.
Oh.
Yes, I was scared.
Have you ever imagined Buddy the Elf?
Quieter. It's so loud.
Have you ever imagined?
Oh, please, quieter.
Have you ever imagined?
Really close to the mic.
Have you ever imagined? Oh, Buddy the Elf, boxing gloves. The Grinch, boxing gloves. Facing off, bell rings, battle in and out. Who you think would win? You ever think about that?
I hope there's not a gate on this microphone. I hope not. The Grinch by a mile, but they would have to be the same size.
Or do you think Frosty the Snowman could strike out Krampus in baseball?
No.
Or maybe Santa Claus could outrun Jack Frost.
No discredit to Mr. Claus, but it's the reindeer that move fast, not him.
To get in this overview, we are going to be lining up heroes and villains in a classic clash of multiple sports and who we think would win.
Okay.
So I'm going to have you introduce the villains because the Grinch is listed as a villain.
Oh my God.
He's listed as a villain. So your team is going to be the villains and my team is going to be the heroes. Because he starts off as a villain. It's a classic. I want you to go through your villain lineup and list them off for us.
All right. Okay. Let's see. Krampus, this horned horror. Who wrote this? This horned horror is any opponent's worst nightmare. Half demon, half goat, and all attitude. He's ready to devour the competition. Motivation is to punish the naughty children while Santa rewards the good ones. So he's like the Satan.
Yes, so in old folklore, Krampus and Santa Claus would actually work together on Christmas Day, and Krampus would punish the naughty kids by picking them up, beating them with a stick, putting them in a basket, and ferrying them off to hell. And Santa would give gifts to the good kids. That's the story. So they were like brothers that on opposite sides of the coin.
Man,
Saint
did
Nicholas
they flip
and Krampus.
a coin and get to decide who was who?
I don't know. Maybe they
damn
switched
it.
every year. Maybe Krampus and Santa are the same person.
It would make sense. Wait a minute. Krampus, Santa? No, they don't. All right, so he's 8 feet tall, apparently, and 430 pounds of pure goat muscle. Well, that's a lie, because he's half goat.
No, but pure goat. It's all capitalized like greatest of all time.
Well, he's not, because he's right next to the goat.
Yeah, well, there.
Anyway, he's strong enough to carry all the naughty people in a basket on his back, leap buildings, and can match speed with Santa Claus, who is not fast, so not really impressive. If it was match speed of the reindeer, then I'd be like, there we go. He can open up portals to a fiery dimension where he takes the naughty children on Christmas to be punished for being bad. Other than Krampus's powers being weakened against any morally good opponent, he has no weakness. So other than his weakness, he has no weakness.
All right, so that's your captain of your team, to be clear.
Yeah.
Now on to your star player.
I feel like this guy should be the captain. Whatever. The Grinch. This is not pudding. Which is not his quote. That's from the scientist guy, who I don't think ever shows up again in the entire movie.
This is not pudding.
This is not pudding. What is it?
He just shovels it in his mouth.
He's a mean one, this Mr. Grinch. He and his rotten attitude repulses anyone unfortunate enough to join his team. Well, I think he's kind of jovial sometimes. While he prefers solo competitions, he's not afraid to team up to stomp out holiday cheer. 4'5" or 6'2" Jim Carrey. Okay, he's 6'2". He's actually the size of a speck, but it's all right. 300 pounds, maybe. I don't know how they know that. Superhuman strength. The Grinch can lift an entire town's worth of presents, trees, and holiday decor over his head. When he belches, anyone in the vicinity doubles over coughing in a cloud of noxious fumes. Actually, they just pass out. He wasn't coughing at all, actually. He just... Well, it won't let you go till you buy a chapeau. I'm going to do a video someday where I just reenact it all from memory.
Honestly, a Markiplier Choose Your Own Adventure Grinch Christmas sounds whole.
Choose your own adventure? What's the choose? I just recite it.
You choose it.
I just recite it.
All right, there you go.
All right. Weakness. Martha May Huvier. Whenever he faces her, he's thrown off his game. Also, holiday cheer lessens his competitiveness. I'd say it increases it because it makes him ornery. Technically, all of Whoville is on a single snowflake, so the Grinch would be microscopic compared to others. Did you just add that in?
No.
Oh, okay. Kindness towards him also throws him off his game, and if faced with a flashback, he will pause for a moment. In reality, his one weakness is that electric shaver.
Oh, yeah.
That brings him right back to the worst time of his life.
Yeah. Now to your young buck.
Jack Frost is a villain? I've never seen the movie he was in, so I don't know.
There's debates. Jack Frost has been an anti-hero in a lot of ways. Depends. It's always been kind of flippy-floppy with him. So.
All right, we got Jack Frost. He's like Frozen Lady, but a guy. 5'6", 112 pounds. He can summon snow, iced frost, and bolts of ice, which is just shooting ice out of his fingers. Makes drawings from the ice he creates and brings them to life, much like the Frozen Lady. He's able to breathe out ice, just like Superman. Fun manipulation, is able to manipulate fun and spread it throughout the world by hitting people with snow. This does not sound like a villain. Losing his staff weakens him, plus he's also a slacker who might switch sides at any time and is allergic to teamwork. His only goal is his own enjoyment, so whatever means that takes can be a massive hindrance.
It could be something good, it could be something bad.
So whatever means that takes can be a massive.
Do you not understand?
The sentence doesn't make sense.
No, it does. Whatever means, like whatever type, whatever version, whatever creation that takes.
It needs a by which that.
Oh.
So whatever means by which that takes can be a massive hindrance.
There you go. All right, so that's your third player.
Bumble, the abominable snow monster from the north. So this is like a Yeti. We watched this while we were up in the woods, and I didn't realize how large it was in comparison to everything else, because I've never actually watched the Rudolph special.
You've never watched the claymation stuff?
I've seen some claymation stuff. I'm not really in, I don't have a cherished memory where I need to see those every year all the time. It's just the Grinch for me, and that's enough for me because I'm not greedy.
These were my favorites as a kid, and they weren't because I had them at home. It was where my babysitter always had these and would watch them. So
I gotcha. His insatiable appetite for victory makes him a formidable foe, ready to rumble at the slightest provocation. He's 15 feet tall. He weighs about a ton, 2,200 pounds. He's got a special ability called the Bumble Bounce, can bounce from great heights without injury, allowing him to travel great distances quickly, much like the Hulk. Ferocious roar, let out a roar he can scream, which makes people scared, apparently. And weaknesses is the color red makes him fly into a rage, completely throwing him into a frenzy, showcasing aggression, and wild swinging that could hit anyone near him, even teammates. His teeth are also very sensitive. There you have it.
There's one more player, your fifth guy.
What is better, to be born evil? To be born good? What's better, to be born evil? Anyway, Ebenezer Scrooge. Squeezing, wrenching, grasping, scraping, clutching. Covetous old sinner. Probably the sexiest intro I've ever heard. Hard and sharp as flint, secret and self-contained and solitary as an oyster, which doesn't make sense because oysters grow and live in huge clusters, don't they?
Yes, but they're all contained within their own shell. And
I see. He's 5'5". Our short king weighs 100 pounds. He's rich. He's a genius, quote unquote. In typical CEO fashion, he uses his lack of sympathy and the exploitation of his workers to prop himself up as a business genius. You know, this is actually where the concept of a bad boss and then a benevolent capitalist leader. If it trickles down, then it actually works. Why don't all CEOs should watch this story? They need to read this. Iron will, his supernatural drive and motivation towards any goal he sets his mind to is unshakable, and he will not stop until he wins, especially if loads of money is involved. Weakness, he's a tiny and frail old man. If you so much as look at him too hard, he'll fall over. He cannot comprehend goodwill and can easily be set off seeing other people's happiness and joy. And only the fear of death, pure simple death, made him go, wait, that'll be good.
So that's our villains lineup. Now we've got the heroes. Obviously, we start with the captain being the notorious one and only Santa Claus. This immortal being may be jolly now, but he hasn't forgotten his origins as a Norse god of war.
Is that his origin?
Yes, those are on the naughty list. Better watch out. Height, 5 foot 7 inches. Weight, 260 pounds. This is according to NORAD, which is the official Santa tracker, by the way. Special abilities, time bending. Whereas Santa may not be able to move fast, he's able to deliver billions of presents each Christmas Eve by slowing down time to a near stop. He also has the ability to summon elves, an army to work at his bidding, to build toys or whatever actions he may make them do. Weaknesses, generally loses his Christmas spirit, so to speak, when there's a lack of goodwill or holiday cheer. Then we've got the notorious snowman himself, Frosty the Snowman, cheery man. Just
You almost got
the cheery snowman may have been born yesterday, but he is an incredibly powerful being with magic powers and a heart of gold. Stands at 6 feet tall, 600 pounds. He has the ability to manipulate snow, increasing the density and making it snow at will. He's superhuman speed when he is on his belly whopping, gliding on his belly. He can travel long distance at incredible speed. Deconstruction and reconstruction. Being made of snow has its benefits, so long as it's cold and there is snow around. If he gets punched through, blown apart, as long as he has snow and his hat, he can reform from all the missing parts being put back together. Weaknesses, if it gets too hot, man's gonna melt.
Makes sense.
And if you remove his hat, he's done. He also doesn't have a competitive bone in his body, or any bones for that matter. Up next, we got good old Buddy the Elf, the human being that thinks he's an elf but isn't. While he may just be a human adopted by one of Santa's very notoriously smart elves, Buddy is also the world's tallest elf with the stamina of an endurance athlete. Standing at 6'3", 220 pounds, he has an infectious enthusiasm as an inspiration for his teammates, keeping team morale high so that everyone is at the top of their game. And tell you what, he's Santa's secret weapon because that man knows how to spread Christmas cheer. Buddy can hit any target with snowballs and can make snowballs and throw them at rapid speed. Weaknesses, being called a cotton-headed ninny-muggins can throw him off his game, and due to being incredibly gullible and love for candy, it's easy for people to trick him. Then we've got Martha May Whovier, the most fashionable Who in Whoville, probably the secret weapon against the Grinch. Martha May also is the most competitive, winning at any cost while dressed to the nines. Height, 5'9". Weight, she's a lady, don't ask her her weight, that's rude. Deadly aim showcased with the Christmas light launcher, Martha can hit any target when armed to the teeth. Stun, she has the ability to stun any opponent, especially the Grinch, with her impeccable fashion choices. Her weaknesses, the Grinch as well, and a bad hair day. But also, Martha would be microscopic, much like the Grinch.
Yes.
And then the secret weapon, the one that has saved Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer himself. You may know Dasher, you may know Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, but Rudolph is the most famous of them all. This young reindeer might have been excluded in the reindeer games, but he's ready to outshine the competition for this showdown. Stands at 5'3", 375 pounds. Shiny nose that can light up a snowstorm, but it could also blind some people. He can fly at incredible speeds because he's one of Santa's reindeers. And his weakness is, while his nose could be good, it could also still blind his own team and easily rattled by taunts by his opponents.
How are they fighting?
All right, so this is what we're gonna get into. First sport, 5-on-5 basketball.
Oh, I thought they were killing each other.
No. This is a sports show-off.
Oh.
Heroes versus villains.
Oh.
In basketball, you're going to have the incredible center that's 15 feet tall. I don't know how many people are going to get past him, except when he sees all the red that the heroes are sporting.
About the abominable snow monster?
Yeah, 15 feet. You're not going to make a basket.
Let me choose what positions are filled by who.
Okay, you do your thing.
What are the positions again?
You got your point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center.
Can you write them down?
2 guards, 2 forwards, 1 center. Your point guard runs the offense. They're usually quick, agile, good passer.
I don't need to know what they do. I just need to know the names. Say them again.
Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center.
All right. Small forward Ebenezer. He's built for it. He's ready. Ready to go.
You know who small forwards are?
Nope. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Small forward, Ebenezer. He's the LeBron of this team.
That's LeBron's position.
That's what I figured you were going to say, because I know who's doing what here. Listen, he bought the team. He gets to pick where he plays. You got point guard. Oh, man, you know that's Krampus.
All right.
Why? Don't ask why. He knows why. Shut up. Left guard. Left guard.
Shooting guard.
Left guard. Shooting guard. That's Jack Frost.
All right, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I would have thought him at point guard, but shooting guard works.
Back row guy. Back row guy.
Power forward and center are the last two.
Power forward. You give the power forward to the abominable snow monster, because that guy, in any lineup, he's forward of everyone else. Center, Grinch, because he's the center of my heart and the light of my eyes, and he can do no wrong. Therefore, he will do no wrong. The end. We win. It's 136-82 shutout game. There were people leaving the stands in the third quarter.
Point guard, Buddy the Elf. He's the leader of the circus.
Don't ask me to repeat who is in what position, because
I remember. Point guard for the Heroes, Buddy the Elf. He's a good facilitator. He can throw the ball. He's very accurate, which means he's going to be good at passes.
Sure, well, mistake there.
Shooting guard, Martha May. Incredibly accurate as well. Showcased by her Christmas light launcher, which has an arc to it, so she's going to make the shots.
I think that it's really the launcher that does that, and that is not allowed on the basketball court.
Small forward, Rudolph. Versatile, quick, agile, can fly over everybody. Great, versatile player. Power forward is going to be big-time Santa Claus. And our center, 100%, the 600-pound snowman. Because that man can slide and he can bounce.
Not very tall.
He's 6 foot.
That's short.
Well, you definitely have height over everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's tight. So to me, I think the villains do win, even though you put them in the completely wrong positions.
Don't matter.
I think the villains do, in fact, win the basketball
They're
matchup.
so cohesive that it doesn't matter who's in what position. They just know.
I think ultimately what's going to end up happening is Bumble's going to foul out, but he's probably going to murder the entire...
He's going to foul out really hard.
There's a red from Rudolph's nose. There's a red from Santa's outfit. Martha May wears a lot of red. He's going to just rip people's heads off.
Hopefully.
So I think the villains take it in basketball. However, baseball, I think the heroes have it. You got the crazy throwing ability of Buddy the Elf. You got the power and time stoppage of Santa at the plate, who's going to just launch homers over and over again. And then Rudolph's going to catch anything in the outfield.
That may be true, but the Grinch, the night before, stole all of the opponent's team's equipment, clothes, gasoline from their car to get to the stadium. Every one of your players didn't even show up.
Nope, Santa's just going to bring a sack of new equipment. He has the elves that'll just make it all for them.
Well, fuck you.
All right, so villains take basketball, heroes take baseball.
Sure, whatever.
Ice hockey.
Well, you got all the ice power guys on my team, so I mean
that, and you just put Bumble in the goal, and he just lays there and he blocks
true,
the whole
yeah, but
court.
Well, that's not what I do. Don't put words in my mouth. That's Ebenezer's in the goal.
Old man's taking a beating.
Yeah, don't think you don't know what I know that I know.
All right.
No. I think that Krampus is in the goal because he's going to be more tactical thinking, because the snowman could be drawn out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
he'd
right.
like some red nose over there, like tacked it to draw him away. Plus, he could probably just open a portal.
Puck's in hell. Nope, you missed.
Or if Frosty's over there on the other side of the ice in the goal, he just portal up. Then the goal's open.
I do think you do have the advantage on the ice. Jack Frost is notorious for being good on the ice, especially since a majority in the movie that I've seen of Jack Frost, he's literally creating ice and like sliding across it for his main means.
So did Frozone.
Basically, Frozone stole it from him, probably, maybe. I don't know. And the Grinch will be stealing pucks left and right. Bumble's just a mess. He's going to be in the penalty box, but he's going to be out of the penalty box.
He's a dedicated penalty guy.
So I think you got in hockey. Soccer. I think I got more kickers. I got 4 legs on
You haven't
Rudolph.
seen the legs on Ebenezer Scrooge. That guy, legs like a ham hock. You know a big old pig butt? That's just his legs.
But the big thing is Santa's able to fill out the rest of their team with the elves.
That's true. It's more than 5.
Yeah.
Limited. But I do see Kermit in one of these pictures here. In Ebenezer's picture, their Kermit is there.
Yeah, but they're not friends.
Yeah, but he's employed. If the elves are employed by Santa and he can call them up,
Ebenezer, you're right, he could
he's
buy
got
a team.
An orphan with one leg. He's got some ghosts. Those, you never know what those are going to do. I think one of those ghosts might be Santa. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Ghost of Christmas present, whatever he was.
The present one.
Ghost of Christmas presents.
There you go.
That's Santa. Santa's dead. Sorry, kids.
All right. Soccer, I still think is the heroes, though. Snowboarding, I think you win.
Okay.
Just because nobody's beating Jack Frost. And also, the Grinch can...
He did ski pretty well, so it would make sense that he could also snowboard.
Yeah. So I think you 100% are up there. Now, marathons, long distance.
Ebenezer's got this.
I knew you were going to say this.
He's going to clinch it.
I don't think anyone beats Buddy the Elf. With how much he walked to get to New York City to see his father, that man can go ultra marathons like crazy. He walked from the North Pole.
He rode like an iceberg most of the way, let's be honest.
And he walked through the Lincoln Tunnel.
That's true. He did go through the
And the
Lincoln Tunnel.
Candy Cane Forest.
No one knows how long that actually is. There's no evidence. And he walked it. Look, you want to know about running? Ebenezer. That's all I got. I got nothing else.
I just don't think, like, the only way you'd have a chance is with Bumble holding a red thing in front of him, having him chase it.
None of my guys are really speedsters besides Jack Frost, so...
Krampus is pretty fast.
He's menacing walking towards you kind of thing.
Yeah, so I think marathon takes it. So right now, baseball is heroes, basketball is villains, hockey is villains, soccer is heroes, snowboarding is villains, marathon is heroes, so it's 3-3. What sport is the ultimate tiebreaker, do you think, between these two?
The one I see on this list
It
here?
might not be on the list. What sport do you think would be the closest matchup between these two teams?
Tetherball.
Tetherball?
Tetherball.
You think that's the ultimate level playing field?
I think it's an interesting matchup because there's counters to each one. The height of Bumble, but Rudolph could go up high and hit it wherever and then could throw him off by blinding him. There's a lot of ways that could be interesting.
I think that's good. I think any racket sport is also interesting too. So like tennises, badmintons, volleyball. The only thing with volleyball is if you do beach volleyball, Frosty's out. He's just melted.
Yeah, that's true.
I think tetherball is a good shot. I think dodgeball, the heroes take it, which is why I don't want to do dodgeball. Tetherball is interesting.
Not many people think about it.
Not many people think about it.
I haven't thought about it since 5th, 6th grade, but it was incredibly influential on me.
Or Foursquare. Foursquare is also really...
Foursquare doesn't make it. I don't know the real rules of Foursquare.
Really, there's no spinning or anything. You just hit it, and it's just get it in square.
Cherry bomb. Like, you can't always do a cherry bomb.
So, with that, the last sport being tetherball, instead of us making the decision, based on the lineups presented, who do you, audience, think wins the ultimate showdown between heroes and villains if tetherball is the tiebreaker? Or bring up your own sports. Put them in the Spotify comments because I do actually look at those. They're actually interesting. I think they're a great place for us to actually facilitate stuff just like we used to in the past, but also on the Reddit. I want to hear your guys' favorite Christmas characters, who you would add to heroes versus villains, and also who you think wins in this matchup of tetherball. So I think we leave it to the audience.
Okay, sounds good to me.
But that's our holiday Christmas special. If you think there were holiday characters that you think we missed, too bad. Make your own. Have your own face-off. If we get one of those people, you know how they have like the comic book fights, like Goku versus Superman and stuff like that? I want somebody to do that with Christmas characters.
Okay.
I want to see that. That'd be really cool.
Okay, sounds good.
Let us know who you think would win on the Reddit, in the comments on Spotify, and in your hearts. What characters we missed and stuff like that. Also, incredible merch holiday sale. Almost every single item is 50% off what it normally is.
At store.gmfst.com,
you can get a foam finger, a 5-finger discount because it's only $5 to get the foam finger. Pins are $4 right now.
Finger pin is sold out.
Finger pin is sold out. That one pin is sold out because we had the big finger deal in the past, so we didn't have much inventory left of that.
The poster is only $6 right now.
Add $25 to your cart and add the sticker to your cart. You get the stickers for free. You buy $30, you get a free pin of your choice. Just make sure and add it to the cart and make sure the proper coupon is selected. And if you buy $40 or more of total product, you can get a free sticker sheet and a free pin of your choice. Just make sure you choose that correct coupon at checkout and have those added to the cart. All of those are available. All of the prices, except for one hat that's limited edition, still is 50% off or more. We're trying to sell out of inventory that we have, and so we can get the uniform stuff set up and everyone can get it. So everything is an absolute incredible sale.
Everything must go. Store.gmfst.com.
Take advantage. And with that, use the Reddit, comment on the posts and Spotify and everything, and we'll see you in the next episode. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.